Hi, I'm just making this as a quick broadcast because I didn't want to have to edit it and I didn't want to have to take too long with this. But last video, we talked about how to find your gift and how, many things. We talked about a lot. If you haven't seen it, go back and see it. We talked about a lot of things. But I got some questions about, hi, how you doing, folks? Thanks for coming in. Hi, Julia. Hi, Renee. Is it buffering? I'm sorry, I can't do anything about it on this end. I'm working through StreamYard, and there's no way to do anything about it. So, sorry. Okay, so we talked about finding your gifts and using your gifts and how important it is. I want to express. Well, thank you. Thank you, love. I'm so glad to see you here. And I didn't warn anybody that I was going to do this. So if you know anybody who's on, tell them I'm on. Hope you got the bell clicked. So I wanted to say, yes, it is very important what you do after you find your gift. Because once you find your spiritual gifts, you're going to want to use it, right? And there's right ways to do that and wrong ways to do that. Now, I'm not saying that you have to have some thick book of rules. I'm saying you want to be careful and protect yourself when you're doing this. Because basically, it's like the internet. It's a great thing, but you can run into some weird stuff. Okay? And what do you do if you do? You better have some kind of belief system in place, some kind of backup in order to keep yourself from harm. I mean, there are some things that sometimes are not very nice that you find uh, running around in the etheric, and there are people, not spirits. I'm not talking about ghosts and stuff. I'm talking about people who are not very nice, who are also, say, remote viewing, and who are also, using their gifts of a remote affecting. And I want to say one thing I do not advocate is putting a lot of pictures of your place online, like all of the, oh, hi. Hi, Jarvis. And I must remember that if you ask me a question to read it, because I guess some people are just listening and can't read the comments. Maybe they're, just listening. So I will have to do that. Hi, and Chris Jarvis says, I can't even figure out what my gifts are, so I'm good. Hi, Les, how you doing? Good to have you here. So basically, it's sort of like anything else. If you're in a good neighborhood spiritually, you may not run into anything bad. I mean, but if you're not, well, you might run into something not good. And unless you're prepared, you might get into trouble. And many people have. One of my very most pet peeves, and I'm going to say it again. Okay, some people have absolutely no trouble with a Ouija board, but some people do. And we hear it a lot. Why? They don't take it seriously. It's sold as a game for kids, 10 and up. Should you really be giving? Oh, here, kid. You're 10 now. Go talk to the dead. How ridiculous. you've got parental controls on things, but you're going to give them as a game? So, oh, here, just go talk to dead people. Oh, yeah. There may be some spirit, there may be some other things besides dead people in there, too. But go ahead. You're 10. You're 10. You've been around the block. Seriously? Are you kidding me? If I was a parent, I would be writing into Milton Bradley or whoever is putting this game out and saying, are you kidding me? By my belief system and many other people's belief system, you are endangering children. You could potentially be putting them in touch with something dangerous. Now, see, the problem is you're not supposed to believe that. You're not supposed to have a belief system. You're not supposed to think that any of this really exists. It's just a game. And how many times do we hear how badly that goes? And people having seances just for fun. And do kids at that age, growing up in a society where they're told that there is no such thing as anything, really, not even an afterlife? Oh, oh, wait a minute. Let me look and see what you said, Les. It's the Ouija board, Les. Honestly, 10 and up. Sold to kids, 10 and up. For kids 10 and up. Not only is it insulting to our spirituality, because basically it's just saying, well, this isn't real. You guys are full of it. You don't know anything. You're just making it all up. Oh, really? Or is there something, maybe there is something darker behind it. Maybe somebody was sitting there going, oh, let's see how much trouble we can cause with this. We can scar people for life at a very early age. I'm disgusted. The more I look back on it, I'm disgusted. I'm really disgusted. You mean don't use tarot for playing poker? Well, depends on what you're willing to bet, baby. What you're willing to put out for stakes. The whole thing is, when you are using a divination tool or something to contact the spirit realm or anything like that, and I mean a seance, you're having a seance, it is a lot like the internet. And we know how safe the internet is, right? You can't get any trouble on the internet. Meanwhile, those of us whose job it is to unscrew the screw-ups, after it happens, after the fact, those of us who do that work, we're sitting there face palming going, oh my God, they got another one, because people just don't know. They don't know. Taro is not for playing poker. She don't even have a few pennies, Jarvis. Euchre. That'd be safer. That really would be safer. Okay. Honestly, gin rummy would be safer, I think. But I don't know. it's like I look at it and I say, am I the only one who looks at that and says, somebody, it sounds like somebody was either dropped on their head or did it intentionally? Because at that age, what are kids thinking about? Especially boys. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be sexist, but it's true. It seems like you guys, especially, girls too, though. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of girls who think like this. But you hit a certain age, and all of a sudden, all you can think about is, wonder what death and destruction is like. And all the things they told me, is there really a heaven? Is there really a hell? Is there, and what can I do? And what, and if you're the kind of a person who just wants to see what you can get by with, this is very fascinating, and it starts out, all of these things start out very slow. It's like, oh, well, hey, it looks like we got something here. And then it kind of draws you in to it. Now, I'd say tarot cards are probably a little less dangerous, but maybe not. I would say, yeah, people have gotten addicted to them. I'd say one of the big things is getting addicted, and it is addictive. Because kids, when they find they can exert power over something, it's very, very seductive. Or anybody. I mean, oh, wow, I contacted something. Oh, wow, something's answering me. This is really happening. And of course, you have to undergo a paradigm shift at that moment that, oh, yeah, stuff can happen. Wow. So when this happens, now you've got the idea, okay, let's find out what I can do. Where can I drive this car to, and how fast can I go? But without getting pulled over. So whatever you believe in, and if you believe in nothing, at least believe in yourself. You better at least believe in yourself if you're going to do this. But when I was a kid, I remember every time somebody wanted to do a kid as a seance, first thing they did was call on powers of darkness, because that's what they thought they had to do. The dumbest possible thing. I mean, it was like the absolutely worst thing that you can do is what they would do. It was so common. It was like, but that's the way you do it. You call in the powers of darkness. Yeah. I've seen it in movies. Yeah. Okay, Speedy. Yeah. You saw it in movies. Okay. I think I'm going to end that rant because, the point is just even anybody, and I mean, not even just kids, but just anybody. If you're going to venture out into this world, and really, I believe everybody has talents that they haven't quite figured out yet. But if you're going to venture out into that, really, your parents should be teaching you this, but that doesn't happen much anymore. In earlier generations, that did happen. In earlier days, in different societies, you always had somebody helping you with this. You didn't go out alone on this. You had tutelage of some sort. Yes, I believe so, Les. Les says the forces do that on purpose, and I believe so. Every kid I knew in heavy metal did that. What, calling the forces of darkness? So, I mean, yeah, you hit a certain age, and it's like, you want to rebel. Whoa, let's rebel. Let's do something spooky. See how I'm doing my eyes there? Woo, to look crazy. Anyway, because we are kind of crazy at that age. It's like we're just testing things out. We're testing. 1, 2, 3. What can I do? Okay, I'll get off this rant because I think I've made my point about that. But what do you do? Okay, I will answer that, Chris Jarvis. I will answer how do you figure out what gifts you have. But let me finish this part here. What I'm saying, all I'm saying is, if you're going to start doing this kind of thing, please figure out what you believe in, whatever that is. Whether it's Great Spirit, the God of the Bible, whoever, yourself, Allah, I don't care whatever it is you believe in, whatever you really believe in, please ask them to watch over what you're doing. Whatever you see as a good force, calling upon the forces of darkness, if you want to do that, but be prepared, probably won't end well. It probably won't. You'll probably regret it somewhere down the line. And if anything happens, if you manage to make a connection, always test it to see who you're talking to. And if it starts giving you something hinky, and hinky is a technical shamanic term, if it starts giving you some hinky information or tells you to go hurt people or something stupid, then you know that somehow you've contacted something off, something bad. And I would say test it by other means too. Check it out with other people if you have something that you want to act on, that you're being told. And I always say only the highest and best guides can speak to me this way, can give me the information through this. No one else. I don't give permission, because really giving your permission is a big part of it. So seriously, your permission counts. And then if anything happens, it was against your will, and you have a leg to stand on, so to speak. I didn't ask for this. You came in and did this anyway. I didn't ask for this. I did not consent to this. Consent has a lot to do with what happens. Okay? Hi, how you doing, Duke? So, you have to be consenting for a lot of things to happen. People don't realize that. Even the good guys need your consent sometimes. I mean, there are times when angels won't step in without your consent, because that's the rules. Of course, sometimes the bad guys bend the rules and try to convince you and kind of do a bait and switch on you and all kinds of nasty tricks, just like a slick car salesman, okay? Used car salesman or whatever, and that happens too. And sometimes you get promised things, and sometimes you're going to do something to get back at somebody or whatever. Just saying, you might want to just make very clear that you won't accept anything but the highest and best. Truthful, that you don't consent to anything else, because it does count. Okay, that being said, let's go on to, yes, World Bigfoot Radio says, don't give permission to invaders from beyond the void. No freaking kidding. Because we know where that goes. We've seen enough. Once you've done this long enough, you've seen enough of it. You're like, again? Okay, here we go. And then we repent at leisure. And then the whole thing is, you are taking on a responsibility at this point. But look, if you're an adult, taking responsibility is your job. That's what you do when you're adulting. Now, most of us, that's why we don't like it much, right? This adult stuff, this adulting, it can be a drag. It really can. No, yeah, no kidding, no kidding, Duke. Episode 107, you're talking about one of your videos. So basically, when you realize that you really are doing something, by the time in this society you realize you're really doing something, you might already be ensnared. You might already be so wrapped up you can't get out. Okay, so protect yourself from the get-go as soon as you know you're doing it. Now, with channels and mediums, it's really particularly hard because with us, a lot of times it's stream of consciousness. And we'll be sitting there, somebody will ask a question, and we'll be seeing things in our head because it's the same mechanism you use to imagine and daydream and remember and all of that. So we'll be seeing things in our head and we'll just start talking, not even knowing that's what we're doing. This is what we're doing. You know, that we're actually contacting the other side, and we'll just ramble along. And I've done this plenty of times and forget to say, whoa, 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 back up. Whoa. If we're going to do this, we're going to say, I only want information from the highest and best sources. And, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Put your perimeters on there. Put your boundaries on there. That's what the magic circle is for, you know. That's why that imagery of the magic circle exists, is because you need to put boundaries on what you are going to allow and what you're not going to allow in your space and in your energy and in your workings. And because after it's in there, it's really hard sometimes to get rid of, especially on your own, especially if you don't know much about how to do that. And people will give you all kinds of bad advice. Really bad advice. I'm sorry, but there are some of the worst advice is, oh, don't give it energy. Oh, you're giving it energy. Oh, don't give it energy. Don't even talk. Don't think about it. What happens when I say don't talk about and don't think about it and don't, I mean, every time you say don't think about oranges, it flashes a picture of oranges in your head. Yeah, okay. You don't want to give anything energy. But by saying that, you know, you're pretty much guaranteeing the person is going to be thinking about that, because that's the way we work. Plus, if you've got some kind of trauma and you're burying it and you're just ignoring it and you're just like, that is called denial. And denial is way different than not giving something energy. Because denial is saying, ah, da di da di da, I don't hear it. You know, that don't work. It's not going to work. Sorry. Okay. Ignoring it and denying it doesn't work. And then I know there are even communities where you can't even mention that there's something going wrong with you, or they look at you like, how have you brought this upon yourself? Hmm? Hmm? How have you brought it? And they slam the victim. Well, what did you do to bring this on? You know, at that point, the person needs understanding and help, not a bunch of condemnation and shoulda, woulda, coulda, and bogus stuff like that. Okay? They need some love and understanding, because people screw up, okay? And we should not just forgive others, but forgive ourselves, because people screw up. So, yeah, it's very, I think it's important too that we back each other up on these things, because really together we're very strong, and there is nothing there is no darkness that can really stand up to a fully aware and lit humanity. I mean, we could crush all adversaries in a second with a thought if we all got together on it. If enough of us got together on it, there wouldn't be any of this crap. And there'd be a lot of crap gone. And when we reach that point, there will be a lot of crap gone. And it's happening. A lot of this crap is going to go down that we're experiencing right now. We're seeing things change right now. There's going to be an adjustment period. And I see that. I don't think it's going to be as bad as some people say. At least not everywhere. There are places where it's going to be really not happy. It's going to be a very difficult adjustment period. But I think here in the States, it looks bad right now. It's not going to be that bad. Some places, yeah. You know what? It's funny because I looked at it when we were having the COVID lockdowns, and I said, well, if we don't get back to work, if we don't start getting some stuff done in the world here, then the famines and the shortages and the riots and stuff come next year. Probably. Just because we didn't do what we needed to do this year. It just stands to reason. But actually, I think what I was seeing already happened, and it wasn't next year. It happened way faster. I think we already saw the riots and the famines and the insect plagues, and we've already seen that. So and we've already seen. But how many people are just so over this doomsday stuff? Yeah, GMO dogmen. Okay. Duke says once we get rid of the GMO dogmen and giants invading it, we'll get better. Yeah. Well, I think one of the things is it'd be nice to know exactly what they are, but nobody's going to tell us. People know, but they're not going to tell us. Les says, just saying most of the people I've encountered like that have been churchy types. And I agree. They've been these spiritual snobs. That's what they really are. Spiritual freaking snobs. How dare you? How dare you? That is so inhumane. To sit there and blame a victim and say, well, you should have been, we all screw up. Get over that and realize it's going to happen, and we just have to have some contingency plans for that. And there are people like me and my friends. We just did two of these. We just did two. We did one was a clearing. I did one clearing by myself, and then the other one I called in backup just in case there was more than I thought initially. So we did that, and then we did another right after that, a healing. And it's nice to have friends, and it's nice to have friends that are not sitting there judging all over the place. And I am fortunate to have found some friends who know how to do these things. And usually, really, the more advanced people, they understand. They're very understanding because they've seen it. They've seen it and experienced it and made mistakes and had to get themselves out of it sometimes and had to call on somebody else to help them get out of it. And that's one of the ways we learn. So really, even if you do screw up entirely, just pat yourself on the back and say, well, you've given yourself a wonderful opportunity to learn how to unscrew this from whoever you're going to get to help you. So I've made some whopper mistakes myself. So, You know, it's like, and then I have to find somebody to help me. And I learn something from it. It's after that happens a little bit, after you screw up enough, though, with everything, like with everything, screw up enough, you're going to learn how to do it right. So, thank God we have an immortal soul, right? Yeah. Oh, let's see. And Duke says, yeah, but you shouldn't wander around Dogman territory with a backpack full of milk bone dog biscuits and then wonder why Dogman is now following you. Yeah. Don't put the sausages in the backpack and expect Dogman to leave you alone. Yep. And and actually that is allegorical for a lot of things. Don't hang the goodies right out where any old thing can grab them, right? And wonder why something's going to come after you, because really your light, your energy is worth something. You're worth something. You're worth a lot. Your energy is worth a lot on the spiritual plane. In fact, some try to use it as a commodity. Disgusting, but true. I'm not going to go into that subject right now. That's just too doggone long. Okay? Maybe I will go into it in another stream or another video, but basically when you are dealing with spirit, and I don't want to frighten anybody, because a lot of people do this in a very safe way and they don't get into trouble because from the start they've done it okay. They've done fine. They've done it the right way. Or they've had powerful enough people around them, or guardians watching over them. Somebody's been watching over them and they're fine. And I don't want to scare anybody off from using your talent, because that's not what this stream is about. That's not what this talk is about. It's about having to take the responsibility for having to take responsibility for what you do. There are consequences. Now, there are happy consequences, many happy consequences. It's brought a lot of joy to my life. It's not just a sad thing. It's not just a scary thing. There are so many times that I'm so happy that I do what I do. There are other times when I'm freaking exhausted. So, yeah, World Bigfoot, yeah, soul trade. Yeah, that happens. I don't want to, once again, I don't want to scare anybody. This is not a horrifically dangerous thing if you take the precautions. It's not like some people get through this without having to, hey, Marie, how you doing? Some people get through this without having this sort of thing happen. But I do have to say one thing, that if this place has a lot to do with learning, you don't give senior lessons to freshmen and expect them to handle it the same. Okay? Everybody's got a level they're on, and you have to meet them on the level they're on if you're going to help them. So, how you doing, Mary? I am so glad that you have made it onto my stream. All of you. I'm so happy to see you. That I actually have a stream. And I'm seeing you. Anyway. Oh, okay. That's cool, Duke. Yeah, I wanted to do a little streaming tonight because I have a feeling tomorrow's going to get very congested very quickly. I don't know what all is going on tomorrow, but I have a feeling it's going to get real busy. So I just want to get on and talk about this subject and just make sure everybody knows whatever it is you're doing, wherever it is you are, the level it is you are is the level you need to be on. And we all need to be understanding of each other for that, and move on from that, and just be helpful of each other, because really we are stronger together, acting together. We're stronger. And we really can change all kinds of things about this world if we agree that it's going to change. And we can use our gifts for good and not for evil. Although some people want to use them for evil. It's weird. I've actually run into people who want to see hell and see what it's like, and they think it's going to be really fun and cool and everything. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But if that's what you really want, there you go. Probably going to get it. I'm sure reality will accommodate you. Yeah. But really, you learn so much. You learn by doing. A lot of times when you have a gift, you learn by doing that gift, not by sitting around. And here's another thing I gotta say. If you have something that you can do and you don't use it, a lot of times it turns on you. It will kind of mess you up to not use it. Like, now this is another thing. Say you have one of these bad experiences with a seance or Ouija board or whatever it is you did, or just anything you did. You went to a haunted house and something followed you home, or whatever it is you did. That's another thing people do. They go to haunted houses and stuff, and stuff can follow you. It can. Yeah, go to Detroit. Want to see hell? Go to Detroit. There you go. Okay. Basically, Newark, Toledo. Okay. I'm kidding. I think probably one of the best things about it is finding out who you are is a wonderful thing, and what you can really do, and realizing that there is way more to life than just this, that this place is really very illusionary in a lot of ways. And it's made very well. You're going to feel everything. You're going to feel stuff. You're going to have stuff happen. It's going to seem very real here. But this is not the real reality. I mean, if you think this is reality, and I know there are things here that are made specifically to convince you that this is reality. But, the farther we go into this 2020 year, the more surreal it's gotten. Until it's like, oh my gosh, is this for real? Well, that's the point. Okay. Yeah, well, Mary, a lot of people do, and good on you. She says, I've been practicing my practices to be a better person, and most of us do it that way. I think probably a lot of healers and light workers and energy workers, and that's what we're doing. Okay, Les says, okay, so I want to use my gifts, but where I'm at, it's kind of hard to find people to also have a gift that have more experience to help guide on how to use it. Well, that's what I'm here for. And there are other people too, but that's why I'm doing this stream. That's why I'm doing these videos. I've come a certain ways. I've had experiences. I want to pass it on. I want to help other people. It's time. I know I don't look it, but I am an older lady now. I'm a senior lady. And I don't have children to pass this to. It's time for me to help other people get their selves together and do what I can to help you on your way and pass this on. That's one of the reasons I'm doing these. Because right now, That's okay, Chris. It'll come up. I'm sure it will. It will come, Chris. We'll work on it. If you like, I will help you with that. Let me read the comments just for a minute here. And Mary says, I was depressed for a little while. It's this nonsense of this post-virus. I'm very tired of the lies. I bet you are, aren't we all? Aren't we all? But think of it this way. How many people are looking at this and another fabrication, another excuse, and it's like a little kid lying. And then they have a lie to cover up the other lie, and then a lie to explain the other lies. And how many people are going to wake up and go, wait a minute, I think they've been lying all along. I think, wait, there's something wrong with, there's something wrong with a lot of things. Wait a minute, maybe, is anything true anymore that I'm being told? And as soon as you start to question things and start to look into things, and you start to wake up. And so it's actually good for us. I think we've needed to be shook awake for a while. I said years ago, the snooze bar is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. It'll get to the point where you can't miss it. You can't miss what's going on. The noise is going to be so loud that you can't stay asleep. And if you are still asleep, well, then raising the dead is the only option. Because you must, that's, but a lot of people are kind of with nothing else to do, and they're looking around and going, hey, things are not the way they're presented. Imagine that. So I got a song about that. I think I'm going to do that song. I will put out this. I've got music to explain some of this. Les, right now online might be your option for a while until you can find people in person. I want to say real life, but that's laughable. This isn't real life. Everybody on the other side that I've contacted says, boy, once you get to the other side, this starts to look less and less and less real over here. It's almost like you dreamed it. So, take that for whatever it's worth. But we're here for a reason. So, and Duke says, Detroit is miles of abandoned factories, burnout cars, and entire abandoned bank and garbage-filled neighborhoods. True. I won't be going there. And don't forget the packs of feral pit bulls, says Chris. So, and the giant plague rats. Yeah. Me? In my 20s? Hey, Les, I really like you. Honestly? Wow. That's a compliment. Thank you. No, I'm actually a senior now. I'm not going to say how, senior. I've never looked my age. There are some pictures where I look a little older than others, but really, by and large, I don't know. I can't explain it entirely. I got good genes. I mean, they're not name brand genes, but yeah, I got good genetics from my parents, but I think some of it is also an attitude too. I don't let my attitude, when I let my attitude drop, I do look older. It's weird. It seems to have a lot to do with how I feel. So I don't know how to explain that, but thank you for that. I really appreciate that. I do get, and probably maybe the way I dress and the way I know things, people figure I got to be at least in my 40s. So, and the way I talk about things, because I talk about things from the past, like I've been there because I was there. So, they probably figure I got to be at least in my 40s or 50s, but yeah, I'm older than that. So you don't necessarily have to look your age at all if you have the right attitude, I think. And don't do a lot of things that stupidly waste your, exhaust your resources, your physical resources. Oh, and Marie says, rats are also evil. Oh, and the chuds. Don't forget the chuds. Don't forget the chuds. And Marie says, I've been aware of the lies, like most of you here, for a very long time, but I couldn't find people that were awake, but now I have. And I have not watched mainstream television in ages, and I see the bullcrap. And you know what? This stream isn't for kids. If kids want to watch this stream, they need to do it with their parents. I'm going to put it that way. I'm not putting this out for kids. If you want to say bullcrap, you can say bullcrap. I'm certainly not going to be the one to say if you're an adult, you can't say that. But I understand. And Marie says her attitude is good genetic mind, spirit, and attitude make you especially good positive behavior, and it makes you young. That could well be. I think staying young has a lot to do with your mindset and a lot to do with, but it also has a lot to do with taking care of yourself. And your physical body isn't, to me, it's just an avatar. Myself is way bigger than that. I am a spirit running a little avatar body. It's not the other way around. My spirit is not trapped in my body. And that's why remote viewing works. That's why remote affecting works. That's why we can astral travel and bilocate and do all that stuff. Is because we are really not, come on, think about it. Could we do any of that? We are huge, vast spirits using these little avatar bodies like people do in a virtual reality video game. And knowing that, it only makes sense, though, to take care of your little Abby, because I think at one time we were supposed to be able to heal anything. And there's been a lot of stuff happen to keep that from happening. But really, there's so many things we're finding that we can regenerate that we didn't know we could. People have actually even regenerated teeth and bones and brain cells, nerve cells, a lot of things that we thought we couldn't regenerate, we've figured out or have somehow regenerated. So I think that's all bogus too, another set of lies. And if you buy into them, then that's your reality. And well, there you go. That's your reality. Inconceivable. Please explain, Les, what's inconceivable? Maybe I can help you with that. And Duke says, I know, I talk about pioneer days when I was a kid in my one-room school with four-wheel dragons, four wagon wheels, four-wheel dragons. My mind, I'm dyslexic. I look at screwed up stuff and read it right. No, it's not, on the prairie, and their eyes glaze over. Yeah, Duke, you know, they just don't get it. Back in the days of the buffalo, right? Yeah. Back in the days when we rode that. Boy, in my day, you couldn't, we were too poor to afford dinosaurs. We couldn't afford a dinosaur. And let alone a pterodactyl. It was hard when half your childhood friends died of consumption or in the bison stampedes. Yeah, I bet. Or smallpox from bad blankets, infected blankets. Moving right along. Movie ref to The Princess Bride about the ROUS. Okay. I can relate, says Marie. Most of them died on the boats coming over from Europe. Yeah, a lot of people did, actually. A lot of people did. I'm from the 1900s. I'm old. That's right. You're so, oh my God, so last century. Yeah, I know. I was born last century too, man. Weird, ain't it? To think, wow, I was alive before the turn of this last century. I'm a turn of the century girl. No, actually, I was way back. Like I said, I'm a senior now, so um, I'm not really, really old, but I'm not a kid. Let's just say I was a flower child when I was young. It wasn't the second wave. It was the first wave. Okay. So rats of unusual size, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, as far as I can tell, people from our era just, we were promised all kinds of things. I mean, a lot of us were expecting to have the George Jetson Star Trek kind of lifestyle by now. And we're still waiting for that. What happened, guys? I mean, that was last century. You were showing us this stuff. Where, come on, TikTok. It's been a while. Where's our anti-grab stuff? Right? Well, it's kind of interesting. We have abilities. I am certain. I've checked it with my pendulum. At some point, I will be able to levitate and fly, and I don't mean in a plane. Yeah. I think that was something that got turned off somehow. That it is possible. There are reports of monks flying, levitating, and doing stuff like that. And but I guess you have to be so disconnected from what everybody expects of you that you are able to do that, because really other people's stuff can get in your way from you being able to do stuff. But I can do stuff I never thought I'd be able to do. I never knew I could bilocate. I had no idea. I had no idea I was locating. Yeah, kind of like that. I'm never going to be like 89 pounds dripping wet in chainmail or anything, and then get picked up by a breeze. Probably not, or Mary Poppins. However, there are monks that people swear that they have seen flocks of birds, monks flying. Of course, this is not something that they're going to share with everybody. I mean, if you think that bird droppings are bad now, imagine that cluster, right? You cluster F word. Well, I don't want to be too nasty on my stream, so I'm not going to use that word. But yeah, I mean, they got their reasons probably for holding back. But yeah, supposedly at some point I'm going to be able to do that. I've had dreams about it. I don't know exactly how that's going to happen, though. I have no idea. But other stuff has shown up I wasn't expecting. And boy, if we get a video of that, wouldn't that be interesting? Believe me, I will try to video that. If that ever really happens, if that comes true, yeah, I will do my darn best to put that on a stream or whatever we have at that point. I have a feeling I'm going to live a while. I have a feeling I'm not going to die too soon because I'm really hard to kill. So, and even if you kill me, I may not stay dead. But no, I didn't stay dead last time. So, well, I have no reason to think I'll stay dead this time either, unless I want to. So, And Murray Bond says, yes, I believe we can do traveling, but you must be very pure and almost karma-free, probably. You have to be light enough mentally, spiritually, probably. I have a feeling, and free enough in your head. Because really, I'm finding that most of our restrictions are in our head. And I talk about it being all in your head. Well, yeah, every damn thing is. Every darn thing is up there. And when you unrestrict your mind, you can do a lot of things. And that's why we're going through this whole thing with, okay, you're thinking you can't do something. You might already be doing it and not knowing. I was bilocating, not knowing I was doing it. I didn't know what I was doing. Nobody explained it. I just realized one day when somebody said, when I saw you standing right there beside me doing yada, 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 and I'm like, what? Oh my gosh, that's bilocation. People were seeing me for a while. They were seeing me just in places where I never physically was. I was trying to figure out what the heck was going on. I was bilocating without knowing it. And so a lot of things I probably thought were just dreams and forgot about, I was probably there. Oh, there you go. Stop dying. Problem solved. Yeah, I agree. Maybe we'll just stop dying. What the heck? See how that goes. Yeah. And stop getting sick while you're at it. I mean, that's a drag. Getting sick is such a drag. See, this is just it. If I sit here and think about what I've done now, that years ago you would have told me that, and I'd be like, oh, come on. And if you would have told me what 2020 was going to be like, if I'd seen all of it, I'd be there thinking nah. I think I did too. Actually, there were times when I had these little snippets, and I was thinking about, people asked me about it, and I was thinking, nah. Nope, here it is. And there it is. Oh boy. Kick the Grim Reaper in the nuts and run. See, the thing is I don't have a problem with the Angel of Death. He's a friend of mine. I do crossing overs. He's actually a very nice guy. And he's not going to come and take you against your will and drag you into death. That's not how it works. There are other things that are going to be happy to do that, but not the Angel of Death. Now, I don't know about the Grim Reaper. I guess he's another guy, but he isn't the Angel of Death. Whoever you want to think of it as, but I am told his name is, I believe his name is something like, not Azazel. Azazel is one of the fallen ones, but Azrael. Azrael is the Angel of Death, I believe. And it was funny because I got a reading one time, and the woman was saying, well, this is weird. It's like you and the Angel of Death are sitting somewhere at some break room talking to each other like, office workers, fellow office workers. Like, hey, friend, how's it going on in your area? Oh, it's going great. How's it going for you? Oh, fine. Like your old friends, And I'm like, really? And then I thought about it. It's like, yeah, I do all these crossing overs. And the Angel of Death is probably very well aware of me. I probably met him and didn't even know, It's like, so that was kind of funny. Okay. Let's see. Give him a Snickers. There you go, Les. Give give him a Snickers bar. That'll keep him busy for a little while. That's what Lemmy says, killed by death. Death by killing, I guess, you know. And Marie says, Diane, you must have picked up on the anomaly at least 20 years ago. It was all there, but only some of us could see it. Yeah. Well, it was strange because I was trying to figure out what the heck I was looking at. I was like, am I seeing right? I'm making it up. See, that's a problem. You think you're making it up a lot of times, you know, when you have a sight, you're trying to unmix it from you're just making up. And then as the streams go, the time streams go, sometimes it shifts on you because if different decisions are made, you're in another time stream now, and now things are going to happen differently. So you're not going to be having the same path you're going down, and it's going to be different. So when I do readings for people, I make that provision. I make sure that they know that. It's like, particularly if it's bad news, I say, look, you can change this. Remember, it is in your ability to make different decisions and change things when you need to. Because most of the time you can alter things. You don't have to just sit with whatever is going on. You can actually change things a great deal, sometimes a very great deal, and make an entirely different outcome for yourself. And so please be open to that possibility, because I've done that. I've actually had a very dire prediction and managed to mitigate that. And one day I'll make a video illustrating some of the times that I've heard that happen, that people have acted on something I've said to do. I said, well, it's going to happen unless you change something. And they have changed something, and the event, either it didn't happen or it did happen, but it happened in an entirely different way that turned out to be much better for them. So you can alter things in the future. They're not set in stone. Although, once again, I said this before on another stream, some things are. Some things you can't do much about it. It's such a big thing that has to happen that it's going to happen, and you can't change that. Like waking up. We're going to have a mass wake up. However that happens, it's going to happen. It could happen 1,000 different ways or more, but it's going to happen somehow. Exactly how painful it is probably a lot up to us. And Marie says, oh, let's see, what do we say? Death, I have not met him, but you can smell him when he is around, Duke says. Yes, Asriel isn't smelly, and he's not evil, and he doesn't. However, this Grim Reaper fellow, I don't know about him. He might be, I've never seen him, but he might be quite nasty. I don't know. I have been exposed to people, Marie says, whom have passed on or passed away since I was a child. In some cultures, it's really a lot more acceptable. In this culture, they're just trying to take away all our spirituality, it seems like. Oh, really? Smelled it right here last night at work. Interesting. I would like to hear more about this phenomena. I know what death smells like. Yes, I do. Yes, we won't go into that right now. We might talk about that sometime if you guys say you want to. Now, Marie says, if you think you have imagined it or something is not right with your thinking, you soon realize that it's not strange and that your third eye is open. Yeah. And Duke says, like in From Beyond, where the eye comes out of the dude's forehead on a tentacle, Marilena. Okay, so basically, yeah, we're talking about fiction, but honestly, the idea of having somebody's eye come out on a tentacle, well, I've seen some weird stuff. Just between you and me, I've seen some people morph into some pretty weird. I've seen some pretty weird morphing. Ugh. Yeah, I've smelled death. It's not pleasant. And Big Duke, ever the cheerful one. Les, you know grain elevators explode, right? You're always such a positive guy. Okay. Les says, yeah, I do, but it happens mostly when dust is heavy in the air, can be set off by a spark, and I worked here going on 6 years. Well, actually, even garbage, because of the bacterial interaction, can catch on fire and explode. So garbage people also end up having that happen sometimes. And it's kind of interesting. Yeah. Mary Bond says, I have seen reptilian at the time. I was still asleep, but I woke up quickly. Yeah. I remember being at a kind of a seminar where this guy was mind reading. He was showing people how he could read minds. And what I was seeing, I was looking at his skin, and his skin didn't look real. It looked like this thick rubbery stuff to me, to my eyes. And everybody was letting him read their mind. I decided I didn't want him reading mine. And when he came to me, he just said, oh, okay. And he passed me and went on to the next one. I didn't really want him reading my mind. There was something hinky about him, you know, and when I don't listen to that, I mean, for me, it's better that I listen to that and maybe be a little embarrassed and have something really weird happen, you know, really bad happen. You know, there's times when I haven't listened to my internal guidance. Boy, have I gotten my butt kicked, you know. And I still do it. Sometimes I still let myself be persuaded to not listen, and I get my butt kicked. What you gonna do, right? Okay, let's see. Exploding garbage trucks, epic. Yeah, that would be epic. And lets us know that it also happens when grain sits in the bin for months, years. It gets wet, and it heats up, and it smolders. Yep, bacteria. Same thing that digests your food. Helps you digest your food. It can, it's bacteria. A lot of things are controlled by bacteria. You might want to think about that. If you think you're the top of the food chain, nah. It might actually be bacteria. Bacteria may actually be the true top of the food chain because it eats us even. It eats everything. Okay. Marie Bond says, I'm disappointed in myself for not getting more evidence and information. He was working with me and I was close to him and he helped me now to navigate the politics of work. Well, that's nice. Yeah. And Duke had a grain elevator explode when he was a kid. That must have been pretty scary. So Les says, I burned some tobacco as an offering to the native spirits and asked them for protection. Walked out of the shop and didn't smell it anymore. And you know what, Les? I believe you. I believe you. Because, hey, the reason people did some of this stuff is because it works. just saying. Because I've got a Cherokee background, so I took an interest in Native American things. Not that my family taught me very much. They were trying to live like white guys. I don't mean that as a racist term. Please don't take that as a racist thing, please. But they were trying to live like, just normal average American Joes. And so they weren't teaching me very much along the Native American lines. On my mother's side was a Native American. My father was pure-blooded Dane. Denmark is usually a very nice place, but has been negatively in the news for a little bit now. There's been some rather negative stuff happening in Denmark, and I'm not happy about that. Maybe we'll talk about that someday. But let's see. Yeah. Well, once again, a lot of times we have these hunches, these things that just come to us. It's like, this seems like the thing to do here. And it might be one of your guides saying, hey, try this. And if you listen, it's better if you listen. It's always, it's better. In French, cher means dear. So I don't know, Duke. You tell me. Yeah, I wondered about that, though. Cher was always dressing up like a Native American. I'm not going to go into that. But yeah, funny. And Mary Bond said, maybe he was putting me in a trance type illusion that I wasn't able to see him for what he was. And he doesn't know I saw him for what he was, a reptilian, because I was scared. Yeah, I don't think they always know when their stuff malfunctions, when you can see through them. This shadow being that I was dealing with one time, and they have this freaky armor. When I saw it, psychically, I was bilocating, and it was like flashing light all around. It was like, it was a lizardy thing wearing armor, and it was like the light was bouncing off of it and literally bending around it. And this is also what Deb said when she looked at him. She said, it's not that they're invisible. It's like the light is bending around them. That is what this armor does. I don't know how to explain this. I don't know where they got it. Is it technological? Is it magical? Can't tell you. Okay. Sounds like a D&D thing, doesn't it, Duke? Doesn't it, Chris? Okay. Oh, yeah. Cher's daughter is transgender. Chaz Bono. Yep. They lose their glamour. Yeah. Interesting. And so he was losing his around me, and he's like so surprised I could see him. It's like, yep, I see you, pal. Sorry about your luck. Yep. Oh, things going horribly wrong. And Marie says the business closed down 7 years ago. We all got retrenched. Interesting, isn't it? 7. How many times have things lasted 7 years only? Or 7 years ago? I think I said in the last stream how I had this place appear suddenly. I had this major Mandela type effect shift. And when I went to ask when it happened, they said 7 years ago, which couldn't be. In my reality, it could not have happened 7 years ago, but somehow 7 is a big thing. There's reasons for that. We can't go into that maybe sometime, what the numbers mean. Numbers do have importance and meaning and symbolism. Got 7 years. Good luck when I shot my last TV. Well, there you go. There you go, Duke. Hi, Renee. Renee would quit lurking and said something. Lurker. Hey, Whitey. Whitey. I still gotta laugh that our phones are so racist, right? I keep calling you Whitey. It'd be funny if you were actually a African American, wouldn't it? Phone would be calling. Ah, hey. Yeah, somebody said, well, I was watching, oh, it was a joke. It was kind of a countrified joke. The kid comes in and says, well, Dad, I was watching, what were you doing, son? What were you doing? I was watching the TV. Son, we don't have a TV. I shot the TV. No, Dad, I mean the turkey vultures. Watching the turkey vultures. Anyway, my dad picked up the conversation of seven symbols. Ah, interesting. And Marie says, my dad has been teaching me plenty of things, and I listen because he is right. It means things are changing again. Yes, I agree. Is your father in or out of spirit? Is he passed away or is he still living, Marie? If you would like to tell us. Because I got a lot of posthumous training from my dad and from some of my ancestors too. My ancestors have been showing me a lot of things. It's very interesting. Shutting that all down is such a shame, because either what usually happens is either people do something, like I said in the start of this, either people do something really stupid, like call on the powers of darkness and screw themselves up for a long, long time, or something happens and they shut down everything and shut down their gifts and don't use them and never really come to fruition. Their gifts never really come to fruition because of that. Because the people around them go, oh, you sinner, you must be, you know, they just shut it down. It's like, yeah, or they say, ignore it, it'll go away. Whatever you do, your gifts can turn around and backfire on you if you're not using them. That's another point I wanted to make on this stream. If you got gifts and you're not using them, and you're not, see, that's the thing. I got to help you become aware of what they are, I suppose. That would probably be a wonderful thing. Because if you're not using them, they can bring things into your life that are bad instead of good. They want to be expressed. Your gifts want to express themselves through you. It's part of you wanting to express itself. And if you don't let that happen, it can turn around on you like it did for my mother and turn bad on you. My mother, I know she had gifts, and she got religion. She got the crazy religion, the crazy religion dudes gave her the crazy religion. And I mean, the real crazy religion, and some people would maybe get upset with me about saying that. But, and then she had to shut all that down, and she just got crazier and crazier. And by the time she eventually ended up with Alzheimer's, and then it got even worse. We won't talk about that right now, though. It's just down a different thing I don't want to deal with. We'll talk about what that's like. So pretty much follow your gut and you should do okay. Well, you know what? It's a very interesting thing, because sometimes I think our guts tell us more truth. Our head gives us one kind of information. Our heart gives us another kind of information. And our gut, a lot of times our gut will just let us have it. Just right in the face. Like, hey, it's like this. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to twist up and knot up and turn and flutter and give you problems. So you better listen. Yeah, listening to your gut is a good thing most of the time. I'd say maybe I really suspect that the reason why we've been given so many things to disrupt our gut flora and and to kill our bacteria and so on, our good bacteria, is because here's a theory, a really way out there weird theory. But could it be that when we're listening to our gut, we're actually listening to our good bacteria? Because bacteria, this is something that a lot of people haven't really recognized yet, but many healers are finding out that bacteria, diseases, they have their own spirit to them. They have their own kind of consciousness, kind of a different kind of consciousness. But a colony of bacteria has consciousness. You can talk to your gut bacteria. Weird, right? Really weird. But it opens a lot of doors, if you think about it, to do a lot of things. I mean, maybe if we can learn to communicate. Remember that guy, that scientist in the old science fiction movies? Maybe we can communicate with them. Oh, yeah. And Marie says, I feel that he is alive, like me. He is. He's alive. Death is not what we think it is. I'll tell you that much. And I think we all have our illusions. We've been filled full of BS, bullshit, honestly, about death and every other darn thing. It just goes with all the other lies, like you said, Marie. Lies, lies, lies. Lies, 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 yeah. There's a song like that. And I have a song. I got to get that song done because it was running in my head. Yeah. It starts out, well, I have it written down and with a date on it. So I guess it's say that it starts out, if you find the truths you've been told are really only lies, follow me down the rabbit hole, you'll learn the same as I. Because it's not just the things that we don't know, it's the things that we're sure of that just ain't so, just ain't so, just ain't so, that really trip us up, I got to get that recorded so I can play it on my show. Like, some people play their music on their shows. I got to figure out how to do that. Because that one would be perfect for this show. Well, that'd be one of the great songs for the show. The other one might be Things Are Gonna Change, which is another one. Boy, are they. Was I ever right when I wrote that one. I wrote that one a few years back. And the lyrics, that goes, how does it go? Things are gonna change. It's in our hands and we won't drop it. There's no way to stop it. Things are gonna change. Something like that. I have to look it up again. Boy, was I right, and boy, are they. Things have got to change. They weren't working the way they were going. We are special that we have been chosen to be chosen via this specific past spiritual journey, says Marie Bond. Yes. World Bigfoot, always making the jokes. My friend Jim had a fireplace, no TV. He said the fireplace was his TV. I said, what channels does it get? He says it's either off or I'm watching the Hell Channel. You know what the funniest thing is? Hell is never mentioned as something that God ever created in the Bible. There's nowhere in the Bible that it says God created hell. That's something to think about, isn't it? So how did it come about? But I will say that Hel, H-E-L, was a Norse demon goddess, and her realm was actually cold, which is probably why you still have the old saying cold as hell. Because her realm was cold and full of zombies. Some people might like that. But it was where the inglorious dead supposedly went. I have my own thoughts on what it might really have been, but maybe we'll discuss that sometime. Um, However, I do understand the reference, Duke. Duke is keeping us laughing. Campfire is the best TV. Yeah, most often, a lot of times it is. Friendly bacteria. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Hey. Hi, Jim. Hi, sweetie. Good to see you in here. I'm glad you could catch it. Oh, I'm glad I didn't shut it down 25 minutes ago. I thought about it. But no, I think I'm going to go 2 hours. I hate to say this. I'm going to have to pay for StreamYard because I'm going to have to pay for it because I want to do more time than just, you know, 20 hours a month is not going to be enough. It's really not for us, because this is just too much fun to be with you guys and talking to you like that and being with you like this. Yeah, I'm so happy that you made it. Good vibes. That's another thing is I feel, okay, wait, Les. No question, since I've started exploring my gifts, I have noticed a ring of slightly of color around my pupils I never noticed before. I feel that's possible. Um, I feel that a lot of times our gifts show themselves on us, and the changes we make spiritually can affect the way we look. And I don't know, maybe that's why I don't. How old I look really does change. It's weird. There's some days I'll look in the mirror and um, I think, wow, I've gotten old. And then there are other days I look and I go, that looks like a young woman. What happened here? What's going on? Hey, I'm happy or whatever. Or the light is different or whatever. But, I ascribe it to a lot of things, but my looks change. And I think that can happen depending on how you feel. Because, hey, a lot of logical changes happen because of how you feel. I mean, your pupils, do this when you're really happy about something and you're really looking at something you want. Salespeople who are trained know that your pupils expand. Ooh, I want that. You want to take it in. So, yeah, I don't see why the colors wouldn't. My eyes have a tendency to change, usually in the blue to gray range, blue, green, gray range. So mine change a lot. They aren't always the same. Fortunately, nobody has ever accused me of having lizard eyes. I don't think anybody ever accused me of that. Because now, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if I've had cat eyes. Because, cats have the slit there too. I wonder because I identify very closely with the cat people. So, although I have seen what I look like in other realms, and other people have seen me too. It's interesting. Most lately, people have been reporting seeing me as a brightly glowing ball of light with wings. But in the past, people have reported me as looking like many other things when I astral travel. So I guess your appearance can change. And I think maybe a lot of it has to do with the person's consciousness too. Because one time I showed up as Saraswati, of all people, a goddess, a Hindu goddess. And really, she fit my personality, though. That does happen to be a goddess that fits my personality pretty well. And so that was rather interesting. But I showed up as looking like what to her was Saraswati. And a lot of times I've showed up looking like an angel or something else that people saw as that meant something to them. So I don't know. Maybe some of these orbs we see are people traveling that way. I don't know. Could be. People have sworn that they've seen people in the orbs. Maybe some of these, the real ones at least, really have people in them. Maybe they're just bilocating, looking around, remote viewing, taking a look around, sightseeing, whatever. Okay. Unless you have a script, an hour-long show does not allow for enough time to cover something thoroughly most of the time. That's right, Duke. I've noticed that. An hour, you'd have to be very concise to fit things in an hour, especially if you have people asking questions and making comments and you're responding to people. It takes a lot longer, but you know what? I really love that aspect of it. So I'm just going to have to accept that I'm probably going to have to start paying for StreamYard soon. So, but I am going to cut this off at 2 hours. And so, you know, just to let you know, I am going to cut it off at 2 hours because I want to save some for another time yet before I have to pay. So, I have a tendency when I'm doing videos, just doing videos, most of my videos are very short. I mean, a lot of my videos are only like about 6 to 8 minutes, 20 minutes tops. So I can make those very concise. But when I do these streams, man, it goes a while. 2 hours just zips. You know, an hour just flies, just like it was nothing. So, yeah. Oh, Marie, look at that. I'm going to show what Marie said. She gave me some emotes. As long as you guys love doing this, come and being here like this and doing this, I'll start fitting some live streams in between everybody else's stuff that I watch and go to. And we can have our discussions here. I would love to be able to just do this as much as I want to without having to worry about it. And, you know, for me, that would probably constitute as much fun as a night on the town, is being able to just come in here and live stream anytime I wanted to. Oh, there's an article about our gov on MeWe. Interesting. Okay, I'll have to go and look that. Maria is a sweetheart. I'm thinking positive, happy thoughts towards Diane. Ah, you are a sweetheart. Thank you. I appreciate that. I need all the help I can get, really. Because you know what? I have wanted to do this for so long. I have wanted to do this literally since I was in college. I didn't know live streaming was ever going to exist like this. But I did take broadcasting a little bit. I didn't get all the way through it. I had to switch majors. I'm not going to go into all that, but I wanted to do it for ages. I just felt like I love to talk to people, and I love connecting with people. And I think I probably have a pretty good voice for it. I was always told I had a good voice for that. So I always wanted to do that, or maybe be on radio. And I was an internet DJ for a while. So for a while, I did have that, not the video, but I was an internet DJ. And that was a very interesting experience. I met a lot of interesting people that way. And I guess that kind of gave me the bug for wanting to do this. And then when live streaming came up, it's like, I want to do that. But I never had the right equipment, the right apps, the right time, the right, you know, it's just, this is the first time I've gotten all the pieces together to be able to do this. So, however, this is something I'm going to say. If I can get 1,000 subscribers, I can start doing this without having to pay for it. I can do it through YouTube instead of StreamYard, and I won't have to pay StreamYard for it. So once I get to 1,000 subscribers, it may be a moot point. So hey, if you know somebody who would like to come in, please let them know about it and bring them in and have them sub and see how many subscribers, how fast we can reach that 1,000 subscriber point so that I can just do this. Okay. How do you find us on MeWe? Well, you go to MeWe. I have a group. Well, for one thing, I mean, the easy way for me to find me, and a lot of us are on my MeWe group, which is the Ohio Woo Crew. So if you download MeWe, which is like Facebook, but not so invasive. They don't data mine you like Facebook does. It's our social app of choice. So anybody who doesn't know that, yeah, come on MeWe, Ohio Woo Crew, and from there you can interface with us and, you know, find out who we are there and start clicking around and get yourself a passel of friends over on MeWe. And I would love to welcome you to do that. And I would be happy to have you in my Woo Crew group. It's not just for people in Ohio. It's because I'm from Ohio. I'm in Ohio. That's why I called it that. And we were joking one day about Ohio is like one of the main lands of woo. We are woo land. I mean, we got everything. Ohio has everything. I mean, we have Bigfoot and cryptid of other ilk, and we have flying saucers, and every fourth basement is haunted, and underground stuff, and just, I don't know, we got every darn thing around. Weird things, Indian mounds, and just every darn thing. We got weird stuff around here. So Ohio is the land of woo, land of weird. What, Facebook? Yeah, Facebook. It's hard to actually entirely get off of Facebook sometimes because it's connected to so much, and that was the way I think it was intended. So it could be really, really invasive. But if we start patronizing things like MeWe, maybe we can make MeWe as much fun without the bad politics. So that's my 2 cents worth. It would probably be helpful if we could make another platform as handy as Facebook has been when it's on the good side of Facebook. But the bad side of Facebook is really bad. I'm sorry. I'm tired of being data mined. I'm tired of being treated like a lab rat because they decide that they're only going to feed you negative streams, or they're only going to feed you happy news or sad news in order to see what your reaction is. I don't consent to being a unpaid lab rat. Sorry. If you're going to do some kind of testing on me, I want paid. You're going to have to pay me, baby. Right. I wish I could stop Facebook. Wish I could stop Facebook. Yeah, man. I wish I could stop. I wish I could quit. I know. It's hard. It's really hard. Oh, it's Jerry Klein. No! I've been completely off the prison camp of Facebook for 2.5 years now and don't miss it a bit. I don't either much. I go there once in a while to check things because I'm hooked up with some things there. But other than that, I can do without it. Once you're out of there and you get something else going on, you realize it wasn't that great. Wasn't that great. Get your friends on MeWe. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get to somewhere better. Get to somewhere with nicer people who aren't going to, data mine the hell out of you. And what I hate is the guys who think that they're so cool and they're going to talk you up and, like they're dating you, and then they start data mining. And what I do is I turn it around on them and start data mining them, and they really hate that. I start asking them all the same questions that I've had them ask me, and they start going, well, and then they start making things up. It's so funny. And I finally said, you know what? Unless this ever turns into a real conversation, I think I'm about done with this. Bye. Yeah. MeWe is fun. It's fine. Yeah. Well, actually, I heard of MeWe from the portal, Paranormal Portal. It was Brent and Dawn that invited a lot of us on there in the beginning. I don't know if Duke's the one that put them onto it or what, but it was when these things started to come up that we found out that Facebook was Facebook. And so people started to look around for other things to use. So that's what happened. Yeah, you know what? I'm thinking probably I need Discord next. That's going to be a big one. That seems to be a very popular one. Yeah, tell the ones that you really want to keep in contact with about MeWe and get them on MeWe. Once you get all of the nice people that you really want to talk to on the MeWe, you'll be much happier. And then you can start to ignore Facebook more and more and more. Because there's lots of groups on MeWe. Tons of groups on MeWe that you can join and be happy there. I have joined quite a few and get all the articles I'd ever want to read. And a lot of them I can't even read. There's too many. So it can be just as lively as Facebook. Yeah. Facebook is mostly to annoy Cha-Cha. Well, there you go. That's a worthy endeavor, I guess. Yeah. NewTube. I hadn't heard of NewTube. Do you have to pay for it, Duke? Because if you don't have to pay for it, I'm there. I'll look it up. Heck. I'll look it up this moment. No, I won't. I'm looking at MeWe right now. Oh, heck. What did I do? Oh, Lord. I accidentally clicked something and I don't see. There you go. I can't keep up with all the social media. Yeah, me either. Don't. Awesome, Chris. Don't forget to remind her about carnivorous reptoids under Cali as often as you can. Yeah, cha-cha. Yep. $5 a month to stream, if I remember right. Oh, cool, Duke. Well, thank you so much. Because then somebody remind me if I forget. I'm going to look into that. That might be the way I go. Is NewTube. Maybe that's the way I get to do this. Because I could do 5 a month. That wouldn't be too difficult. Because StreamYard is $25. So, yeah, I could do $5 a month. That'd be great. Or even 10. But 25 is just right now. Because of some of the things I moved. It's like I tell you, when you move, you're in debt for a while. So usually, what is it? Cha-Cha somehow has kind of made the portal chat her home. But then when we start talking about paranormal things, she doesn't like it. She says she's not really into it. What are you doing on paranormal chat? What are you doing in a paranormal chat room with a paranormal show if you're really not into that stuff? I don't know. What happened, to bring her there? I don't know. I don't understand it, but somehow she's found her way onto there and made it her home, even though she is not interested at all in the subject matter. Each to their own. But we do have one of the best chats, regardless of whatever is being read in the background. We have one of the best chats. And now I have one of the best chats because you guys are here. So now my chat is one of the really, really good chats. You do? Cool. Thank you for telling me, Duke. I really appreciate that. Discord. Yeah. You know what? That might be it too. Discord might be what replaces Facebook. Because Facebook has games too, but they're not great games usually. But Discord, yeah. I think I'm going to get Discord for my PC. Yeah. Discord might really be, because it really seems to be popular. Oh, you mean Cha. She likes to think it's all somewhere else. So we troll her by pointing out that there's cryptids and, honestly, California. There's all kinds of stuff in California too. It's like so silly to think, I'm in California, I'm safe. It's like, come on. California is probably, there are people who swear that there are parts of California that are so reptoid infested that they pretty much walk around just, everybody knows they're fake people. And they just don't even bother to cover it up too much. That's what I've heard. There are places where just everybody knows that they're not really humans. And in fact, somebody else was talking about Paradise that got burnt up, got destroyed. That was actually a settlement of mostly aliens, ETs, that settled here. I guess we have a lot of ETs. If you can believe this stuff, now, once again, it's a matter of, do you believe it or not? But there are a lot of people who swear that, and some of them whistleblowers, some of them, and some of them just regular people who say, yeah, we know they're here. They've been here a long time, and everybody knows it, or at least most people, and it's just one of those things that you just go along and accept because there's no use pointing it out. It's sort of like we have, heck, Jarvis could tell you, we have flying saucers all the time. Flying saucers, well, UFO. We have stuff in our skies, weird stuff in our skies all the freaking time. All the freaking time. I can point my camera up in the sky and I see it now. Sometimes it's hidden in the clouds, but I see some pretty straight edge clouds. And I don't mean that they don't, that they're non-drinkers and non-druggers. I mean that, but they might be. But I mean, clouds with straight edges didn't exist when I was a kid. Triangular shaped clouds, equilateral triangular clouds, and diamond shaped and rectangular clouds. We didn't see that when I was a kid. So it's like, come on, you're trying to tell me that's normal? That's just the new clouds. That's just the way the sky is. It's global warming. Yeah, right. Tell me another one. Yeah, it's global warming. It's all due to climate change. Now they're calling it climate change because they can't decide whether it's global warming or global cooling. So they're just calling it climate change, kind of a blanket thing. It's either global warming or global cooling, or maybe it's both, or maybe but it's climate change. Yeah, that'll work. Whatever. Oh, okay. So, um, who rules with an iron fist? Carrie or Chris? Chris Jarvis, the Iron Fist. Okay, same in Michigan. You can find something weird hanging in the sky all the time, right? I can't watch everything. I just can't. There goes Duke advertising again. Click! Gone. No, I'm kidding, Duke. I'm kidding. I'm going to come on your show and advertise like hell every time I come on. I'm going to go into your chat. Ooh, whoa, you got to see this new. I did actually. I kind of did that last time. I was so excited about my live stream. I'm like, yeah, you got to come in and see my live stream. Ah! It was only my second one. I was very excited. Hi, Justin. How you doing? Predators from beyond the void. They usually stay underground. I believe it. And we got underground places here. I worked in them. I was a mail girl for BF Goodrich, and I saw them. And when I worked at Polsky's downtown, I saw it. Scary. Really, the underground places we have around here are really pretty freaking scary. It scared me every time I had to go do that. I had to work in there. That's fine. Okay, good. I'm glad I have your permission, Duke, to shamelessly plug my own show and blow my own horn. I will then. We got to support each other. Actually, you know what I'm saying? We got to kind of look out for each other. And you know what? Eventually, I got the word. I checked this with my pendulum. I used to have to like duck out a lot of times because I would start getting harassed. But I think now there's just so many of us that they can't keep up with us anymore. They can't keep up with us. Everybody's getting a stream about this kind of thing. How are they going to ever keep up with all of us? It seems to me they're only going to be able to keep up with, a few of them, a few of the most high profiles, and the rest of us are going to run willy-nilly doing whatever we want, probably, for the most part. Especially if we're small and don't have like a bazillion subscribers yet. So, maybe after I get a bazillion subscribers, I don't know exactly how much is a bazillion. How many zeros come after a bazillion? Does anybody know? Okay. Hey, Truth. Good to see you again. Good to see you again. Yeah, they have been shutting down a lot of channels. There were some good channels I really miss. People can say what they want. They really hit Tyler of Secure Team 10. They really hit that poor guy, and he was good. He was really good. I looked forward to his shows so much. And they hit him after he interviewed Lazar. I knew it. He was so happy he got an interview with Bob Lazar. And then he had an accident. But we're not going to go down that rabbit hole today. Got a lot of zeros with the Brazilian. Okay. Where's Strange? Yeah, where's Strange Land? Strange, where are you? Um, they're on BitChute. Yeah, a lot of people just moved to Bit. Did Secure Team move to BitChute? If so, I got to go and find him on BitChute. I'm on BitChute. I haven't put anything up there yet. I should get started on that though. And so people also, yeah, BitChute is another alternative to YouTube, and it's a backup. A lot of people are using it as their backup channel because we all know what's going on with YouTube. I think we're all aware of that, and there's no use going into it too much. What kind of accident? Well, it started with him having a motorcycle accident that laid him up for a while. But then when he started making a movie about some of the deep state type stuff, deep snake, then he started having other problems, a lot of other problems. And now, I don't know what happened to him. Hope I find him on BitChute, though. Maybe he did go there. I don't know. But he said he wasn't going to stop. But he's gone. I haven't seen him. And there was no farewell. People were very hard on him, too, when certain things happened. I'm not going to go into this poor guy's story, really. But let's just say that I know that somebody did a really bad number on him, and it was almost for certain because of what he was working on. That's my 2 cents. And people were, I mean, I could tell there were trolls that were just waiting to attack him on what was left of his channel, and it was very sad that they can do that. Yeah, well, someday I may have to move my stuff all somewhere else. I don't know. Yeah, LBRY is another one. Yeah, I have that app as well. So yeah, I wasn't going to say that, but yeah, he did. And there were a lot of very strange things about that, Chris. Because I talked to him, I chatted with him, and he really was not the kind of guy they were painting him as. It was a shame. And there were a lot of very suspicious things around that incident. He wasn't a drinker. You know what? And somebody got the dash cam video that the police from the police car got a hold of it. And he kept talking about these 3 women that nobody saw. There were no 3 women when they got to him, when they pulled him over. There were no 3 women. So what happened? Something happened. I think he was drugged. I don't think he was drunk. There's something very strange about that whole, I can't go into it because I don't know. I really don't know. But I will tell you, I don't think it's how it was presented. I don't think so. He just wasn't that. It doesn't make sense. I chatted him over at another stream with some other people. Doesn't make sense. Okay, we're coming up on 2 hours. And so I will probably still be calling my show something like this, or maybe I'll come up with a creative name for it. If you come on my stream, I will be sure to tell you, or I will announce it in a video. So be sure to like, share, subscribe, and give me some interaction so I can continue to do this. And I will do this as long as I can afford it, until I can find something else. And I will find some way to afford being able to do this more often, because I love being with you. And I am going to be very happy to have one of the best chats on YouTube with you guys. Yes, I believe that. I believe that, Duke. I believe that he was taken out, unfortunately. Sad but true. Surreal. Yeah, like I was saying. Is this place real? You tell me. How surreal does it seem to you? So unreal. So unreal. Okay. I love you guys. It's coming up on 2 hours. And I feel like going longer. Okay, what the heck? I'm probably going to end up paying for this anyway. Are you guys feeling like you want to stay up and talk, or shall I end it now? You tell me. You was eating breakfast. Okay, let's see it. End it now. Just call it a wrap. I love you guys. Hope to see you next time. Keep an eye out. Well, keep your eye in, but watch the, notes. Love you all. Good night. I will next time, Cookie. I'll come on again. We'll talk about it. Tell me about the gifts. I want my gifts. Santa Claus. Okay. I love you. Night. And remember, truth is where you find it. Hope you're finding some here. And go make waves, because waves is all we got. Oh, don't hug the Wookiee. Don't check the chupacabra. Don't pet the dog man, right? Yeah, and don't carry sausages in your backpack if you want dog man to stay away from you. Good night. Okay, yeah, we're a little over 2 hours, but oh well, I'll live with that. And sweet dreams, everyone. Chocolate dreams. Ooh. Okay, love y'all. Thanks for coming.